Hello. Blah, blah, blah. Hello and welcome to my stream. What? I forgot to undo that today. There we are. You guys are normal colored now. Rather than slightly transparent. Hi. Hi Nate, hi Shiv, hi Breezy, hi Salas, hi Meta, hi Alfie. Welcome. I woke up some time ago. Probably 30 minutes ago or so. But I'm processing the day. Information is being relayed to my brain and is something. Yay! Wait, but fine, I'm going to bed. How are you doing today? I haven't had much of a day yet. I'm starting my day with this. And I hope this goes good. Otherwise I'll start sobbing. I'll have a breakdown. And cry. And it'll be your fault. Collectively. Hi Tikan. And by me, I'm awake. I am as super as I always am. Something about what has happened recently. In my life, in tomorrow, in the world. What has happened recently in the world? It was Doki Doki Literature Club's 7-year anniversary, and that made me turn to dust. 6 p.m. here? Well, it's not 6 p.m. here. Have you ever heard of time zones? I control them. And, it's not 6 p.m. here. Well, it's 6 p.m. there because, cause you stink. I Calca, my Stanley, I Shiv. Hag love. I'm probably you're probably older than me. You can't call me a hag. You're probably older than me, I bet. I won't reveal my age though because that's a trade secret. But you're probably older than me. I only exhibit some traits of a hag. I was born after 9/11. You think I was born before? I was born on. Hi, Bonatai. All of us are younger than you, I think. 11 point. That's getting too young. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're still gotta be allowed to watch the stream. I think they're still... It's still judged as, an 18+ stream. Because I wanted to filter children. Time zones is only Norwegian time. Everything else is fake news. You think that Norway is the truth? Bozo. Seven years, I remember when I first played that I was smoking weed every day. I came down my potato of a laptop and my desk was a board of wood with 2 large containers holding up. I did not do the weed smoking part any good. any point, but I originally watched Doki Doki through playthroughs because I still only had Linux on my machine and it wouldn't play. But when I finally got around to playing it was several years later after the release, and my old laptop, I think it predated the old laptop I used to stream on, and it was not good. I could barely run that somehow. The audio stuttered a lot. I would keep it propped up on my dad's 2 German pocket dictionaries so that the exhaust can leave the fans. He promised. I have it on the floor somewhere. I found it. Ta-da! Hi, SSJ. I know, so the richest country in Europe? Well, maybe it should have been non-Europe. Maybe it should be I think it would be more impressive if you were the richest country in the Americas. We got you beat on that front. Hi, Paper Guide. Has been a while. Hi. Hi, Adam. Sorry, ow. I hit my knee on my desk. Why do you keep your pumice on the floor if you know you're gonna eat it? Well, sometimes it falls onto the floor. You know, the floor is below my desk, and when it falls off my desk, do you know where it lands? I'll give you a hint. It's the floor. But it's probably fine. I don't get why being on the floor would affect the taste of pumice or the danger. Give me a moment. I have to have a well-lubricated throat before gnawing it. Timmy, I'm sorry for punching you in the face in my dream last night. Did you do it unprompted or in response to something? I want to know. Sorry, I bit off more pumice than I could have. Sorry. I missed a bunch of conversation. Hi. You haven't been missing much conversation because my brain is working out. Snail's pace. Hello. Not much is going on in my head. It's like, things bounce around and light up like a pinball machine. And I'm not very good at pinball. Sounds like the Benadryl is getting to you. Actually, that reminds me to take Benadryl because I didn't take it today. I had been forgetting. Isn't that normal? I don't know. I don't know if it's normal. I don't talk to people. Benadryl can cause brain fog. Well, I had a brain. My brain was. I didn't think that much before taking Benadryl either. I don't have a lot of head motion. Well, that's not the right word. Nothing happens in my brain. You understand? But the seamy brain is similar to pumice? What, like, porous? I think all brains might be porous. Or do you mean maybe, like, full of bubbles, like volcanic rock? I think those things overlap, porous and full of bubbles. I don't really know what porous means. Give me a moment. Porous meaning. Ah! That's the same thing. Like a rock or other material. Thank you, Google. I love that. I love Google. See me head empty, all smiles? I've never smiled in my life before. Never ever. What you're seeing here is actually, my face. My face is just like that. It's not a smile. I've never smiled before. And that's the truth. Team has a special extra air-cooled brain. You know, I was thinking recently about, you ever see those mineral oil PCs? How, mineral oil technically isn't a conductive liquid, so some people will just, build a PC and pour a bunch of mineral oil in there for cooling. It's apparently really gross, though, to deal with and clean. Hi, Forrest. It's like when a chimpanzee smiles is not friendly to start. I don't ever think... Am I threatening? Maybe I'm trying to threaten you, but that's not important. Grr. Oh. What? I don't think of anything when it comes out of my mouth. But mineral oil PCs, I've been thinking about them recently. Apparently they're really inefficient and overall just a hassle to deal with. That wasn't ear splitting, was it? Sorry. But I think there's something a little fun about them. I think if I made like a robot, an AI or something, I would put it in a mineral oil PC for fun. Hey, Adrian. Are you alright, mouse girl? Well, the first thing is, I'm not a mouse girl. Second thing is, I do this all the time. It's okay. Just for fun? Well, I mean, if an AI could register images, I think it'd be interesting to see its own guts, right? And I would put like one of those little motor robot fish in there to swim around. Wait, you're not Nazarene? No. I wish I was. I'm living in her shadow. Sob. Depends on the kind of intimidation. If we were to have a fight. No, if I was forced to talk to you, well, I'm scared of women, so yes. It's okay, I'm scared of men. I'm not good with men. I didn't talk to you guys because you guys... I don't look at you guys. I don't register anything about it. About... You're intangible. Ooh. The lack of eye contact makes it easier to interact, and voice. I get nervous when I hear people's voices. Like when I'm watching a female streamer and I get rated into a guy, it's like a jump scare. Your avatar looks... I think I maybe just look like that. It's a symptom of 1, being very sleepy, 2, autism, probably. No, the autism isn't probably, I do have that. But I'm saying it probably is a symptom of that, maybe, somehow, I don't know. We're not unique or special to Tsunami. She's gonna hang out with her new fans and leave us old friends. Ooh. What new fans do I have? I don't know who's coming in and who's leaving. I'm aware, but it takes me a bit to notice. I'm a little slow on the uptake. But anyway. It's not really that I don't process it. It's like your book characters or something instead, you know? Like, I'm reading about you and responding to the sentences rather than, you're not talking to a real life person, I can't do that. Anything, I sometimes have to think harder about my interactions which don't have the advantages of body language or tone to more effectively communicate. But I understand getting intimidated. Oh no, I don't understand things like body language or tone at all. It makes me very nervous when I talk to a real person because I don't know what they're saying. They say something with tone and I have to think real hard, register what their tone is, and I'm like, is your sentence this tone? And they look at me all weird and like, no. Who's your least favorite character? You, for asking. Silly. 40 chest, 24/7 drunk, and autism? The autism came first. I've actually never gotten drunk before. I'm not allowed to drink. Shrimp ass. Hello, Chidami. I am your new fan. I have never been here before. What do I need to know about you? I'm a chinchilla and not a rat, for one. I guess that's not very important, but it's an easy mistake to make. I don't know what else you would have to know about me, because you would learn it through a conversation, wouldn't you? I don't know how I'd introduce myself. Sometimes I see like forums and stuff, you know, applications and stuff like that, and they're always like, how would your friends describe you as? And I don't know what to say. Because one, I don't have real physical friends that I can see, like in the eye, and visit. Two, I don't know how to perceive myself. Your tail is cute today, questioner. Bleh. That's what I think a confused sound sounds like. Tsunami is a cute aspiring idol. I don't think my ultimate goal is becoming something describable as an idol, because I think my personality conflicts with that. But I want to have the skills of an idol, you know? I would describe you as an autistic chinchilla girl, autistic chinchilla neat. Is autism a pro? If I were to apply to a job, say at Burger King, would they accept me if I said I'm autistic? Do IRL friends getting gay? I don't know where you go and meet friends, and I didn't keep in touch with anyone from school. Autism is your defining character trait. I don't know if it's a pro or not, but it's certainly your brand. You made it part of your brand. I think it's something a little important to me at the very least. My mom always told me I can't use it as an excuse and I should stop bringing it up. But I feel like that is me, isn't it? Like a personality disorder. I don't know if it's a personality disorder so much as it is a more all-consuming thing. I met a lot of good friends at LAN parties, so you're saying I should go look for LAN parties? Do they still have LAN parties? I feel like I laugh at that because I think LAN parties are dead, but I don't actually know. I've never been to a LAN party. I don't... 9 times out of 10 autistic girls are adorable to me. I like seeing other autistic girls too. I don't see as many people that are like me, but I do see a lot of people that say they are. I guess it goes to show that many people are different in many ways. It's not an excuse, but it's definitely something you need to be aware of and adapt to. I think you're doing all right. I actually used to be a lot better at living. I used to be able to talk to people. And at some point, I guess something just snapped in my head and I decided, you know, I don't want to have these skills anymore. I don't want to have to talk to people and think about how they'll react anymore. And my skills faded away into nothingness. I don't know if I would recommend you visit a bunch of sweaty nerds. I am a bit of a sweaty nerd myself, I think. So it probably cancels out or something. I don't know. Who knows? LAN parties sound horribly smelly from that one picture I saw. Let me get a photo off Wikipedia or something. I think about how recently I've been thinking, what stops people from making old tech in the modern day? Like, why don't we make CRT TVs anymore? Or CRT monitors? The response I heard was that it's very, costly and time-consuming to make a CRT. But then why don't they make specialty CRTs? Who does that? Do people not do that? Hi, Eric. You got rid of the illness yet? If you mean my general allergies, no. Tsunami wants to learn V2, but Tsunami can only know 4 moves, choose enough to be forgotten. Is V2 a skill? I think VTubing is a culmination of a lot of micro skills, but not much. Not gonna lie, I kind of agree with your mom that autism is a good excuse. You should work on them since having people around is actually incredibly helpful. Anyone who's otherwise is coping. I've never been good with people, and people have never really helped me out. Wow. Wow. Your sweaty nerd is probably a bit different from some serious sweaty nerds types. Well, I think that's just because I'm not a dude. I'm not a man, so... Not profitable anymore. CRTs really having vacuum tubes can implode. Also, they're actually more expensive than LCD. I definitely remember the heavy part. I used to have to watch and play everything on a giant cube of a TV. My dad would ask me to move it when I was younger, and I would try. And I would end up having to, like, scrape it against the ground, trying to shove it with my full body. That was hard. Anything I want square monitors back? They probably still make those. Those have got to be really easy to make. It's just digital, but square, right? There's no one in the world who knows how to make a pencil. Look it up, it's a huge chain. How do you make a pencil? Do you have to hollow out wood and put lead in it? Or how's a pencil made? How do you make pencils? How do you make pencils? Google. They cut them into slats. Oh, that explains it! I used to chew them in half, and they would always cut in half really cleanly. That's probably why. Hi, Dance again. You're not a man, unsubbed, unfollowed, added to a block list, reported to the FBI. Don't report me to the FBI. I don't know if I'm doing anything illegal, please. Ah. There are only people who can do one step in making a pencil, and they're scattered across the world? That's scary. You were a pencil chewer? You know, I used to eat the erasers. I used to have a problem where none of my pencils would have erasers because I would chew all of them off and gnaw on them in class. One time, my teacher approached me in class, and she was like, "Are you chewing gum?" Spit that out, and it's like, "No, I'm chewing erasers. That's not against the rules." She looked at me really funny. She said I still shouldn't do that because that's gross. You're like the female Terry Davis. Was that the Temple of S guy? I haven't made anything half as good as him. Terry Davis? He was the Temple of S guy. I've been thinking about him recently because how do you even do that? That's scary. I'm not any good at anything like that, like he is. My dad's very good with things like computers and mathematics, but I didn't pick up any of that. Instead, I'm kind of okay at art-ish. Bye, Adrian. Bye. He was able to make it end blanklicious in his own words. Was that one of the racist things he said? I know he tended to say racist things and then get banned off streaming sites and forums. Yeah, dude, the thing of making stuff is insane. That Little Caesar pizza probably has cheese from Wisconsin, tomato sauce with tomatoes grown in Italy, dough made from grain grown in Ukraine, pizza box with wood harvested from a U.S. forest sent to China to make the cardboard. It's crazy. How do you make things nowadays? Just on your own. How do you do anything in the world that's scary? I don't know. Has it always been like that? I wonder, like, 20 years ago. Was it still the same? 20 years ago, we were probably just starting to send stuff to China. More than 20 years ago, probably closer to 40. But, thought about it. Here at the operative system by himself, he was an incredible programmer. I watched some of his vids for inspiration regarding computer science. Ultimately, as far as I can tell, Temple OS remains only a novelty. He was a very, very gifted man, but there's not much that could be done with his skills. I made paper once, it was really bad and tasted terrible. You ever eat printer paper? It's got a really weird taste you can't find in anything else. I think the texture helps contribute. After a while of chewing, it kind of flattens out into this weird solid blob. It's hard to chew through. He used his skills to make a cool elephant once, just like you did. I should really do more embroidery. Maybe I'll do another stream sometime. I liked it. No, yes, he used to make most things in-house, but we started exporting those jobs to third world countries for cheap labor costs. That's the saddest thing. If I really, really wanted to work on an assembly line, there's nothing good for the US nowadays. We don't manufacture anymore. Nowadays, what we do is stuff like turkey dissection. No, not turkey, chicken dissection. In the meat processing factories. You're truly a super non-food aficionado. Aficionado? Aficionado. I don't know. I don't think I've ever read that word out loud. Anyway, I've eaten a lot of non-food things. Not any of the gross stuff. Not any of the gross stuff. Stuff like paper and rocks and tools. There's a distinction between Irish smoked salmon and smoked Irish salmon. The former was imported, then smoked. Ooh! Oh. Oh. That's fun. Should see me out to the sweat. Emphasis on the sweatshop. Emphasis on the sweat. I feel like a lot of jobs would be really good for people like me, though. Things like assembly lines. It's doing the same repeated action for a few hours straight. It's easy. There's a handful of manufacturing places still around. It just gets harder and harder to run them because of environmental and labor regulations, as well as competition from cheap Chinese products. The world is so sad. I was aware of most of it, ish, kind of debatably. See, me talking about the state of US manufacturing sounds an awful lot like me when I'm 6 beers deep and my friend brings up the economy. Well, the difference is I don't know much about the economy, and I don't make it my goal to know that much about the economy because I don't wanna. If I talk about the economy, I can't really say that I know anything about it. Only intelligent thing I can say on it is like, wow, the economy sure is rough, ain't it? Another thing making domestic production harder is that China doesn't care about the environment at all, so they save money that US companies have to spend on waste management. Why don't we just make people produce things in-house? I wonder. Saddens me that the majority of people cannot understand even basic economics. It works better for politicians if you don't. And if education gets defunded so that you don't learn about the economy, so that you think that there's a magic button politicians can press to make the economy better. I will make prices lower. I will decrease inflation. The other person hit the inflation button way too many times. Now we hit the decrease inflation button. Something like that, you know? That's my understanding of it, at least. I don't keep that much of an eye on politics, though. I'm just tired of seeing things on, like, Twitter and whatnot. It's like, this politician, blah, 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 things that aren't actually relevant to our day-to-day life. Because I like Japanese imports, let me have my Asian food in degenerate literatures. Would be, if it's Japanese produced and they sell it mostly in Japan, would it be wrong to sell it to America? The restriction theoretically would be on American companies, wouldn't it? They actually can't understand basic economics. It's not that they aren't taught, but their brains just can't. I have found, you ever hear about, my dad told me this a long time ago as a interesting thing to think about. There was an anthropologist or sociologist or whatever studying tribes in Africa and, you know, conversing with them. And one tribe was concerned about another tribe because the other tribe was making strides forward because they could count many numbers versus the tribe that was having difficulty. They could only count 1, 2, and many. The language just had never really learned more specifics than many. So the, I don't know, scientist tried to teach them, but they simply couldn't grasp the idea of specific values because that was just something that was never a thing. They had never been exposed to stuff like that. They had grown up different, been raised different. Anyway, the thought is, theoretically, if someone is deprived of information for long enough, they probably become incapable of processing it. I, for one, can't do math. Or you hear about people struggling with illiteracy. Literacy used to mean that they could write their name, and that was about it. My mom told me when she was young, she used to still come across illiterate people. That statistic has been pretty eliminated though, hasn't it? There's something called a growth mindset. I see that kind of stuff. It used to be hung up everywhere in my old schools. But there's people will make the steps that they can forward, generally, unless they're severely mentally ill. Language too is super interesting. IRC in North Korea, they don't have a word for I, they say we because North Korean government don't want to see themselves as individuals. It might also be a carryover from ancient stuff. Back in middle school, I was friends with a Korean girl. And in history class, when some propaganda posters were shown. She said that she couldn't read it because it looked like they were using a lot of archaic words. And I looked into it, and it seems like North Korea underwent a plan to reverse, popularized, westernized Korean language and revert back to quote-unquote Korean purity. Purity. I was about to sound real uneducated there. My dad has similar issues trying to read Chinese. Or older Chinese. Thinking that was true, then everyone would look the same because the knowledge would have had to come from some originating point. It's kind of interesting how different places have developed the same thing without contact. Like, for example, most cultures have something resembling like a dumpling. The fillings and ingredients are different, but there's a perpetual need to wrap food in grain. Japanese apparently doesn't have gendered pronouns, or at least is so contextual that it's literally hard to translate. It's more like pronouns have gender lean rather than stuff like that. It's like, I think the easiest way to compare it would be like, like old lady pet names, right? Some pet names are more gendered by a lot. Like, I think a lot of women don't like hearing this anymore, but you call a woman doll, you don't call it a guy doll. Theoretically, a dude could still be called doll. But that'd be a little weirder, right? Hey Dharma. Korea will be over before they could even revert back to their old language. It's sad that their birth rate is so insanely low. Apparently the sexism over there is something really crazy out of control. There's just a actual gender war going on there or something. Kind of scary to think about. Amazing, you know? You put the tasty stuff inside an edible container, it becomes tasty, simple human logic. Tamales are just dumplings. It's more, we always have a format for a completely engulfed, like, grain dough over a tasty thing. There was a video about how a Chinese character was made. One of the versions was a poetic and symbolic interpretation of the word using different components. The other one was a box with an X in it that could be written in 4 to 5 strokes. Guess which one became official? Probably the symbolic one, knowing Chinese. You ever read Chinese history? If you get back far enough, it's a mix between real stuff and kind of folklore stuff. You know, and then the emperor declared war on this on this, you know, sect of China. And then they talk about like dragons and god emperors choosing the emperor, and it's really unclear. South Korea is basically controlled by crazy feminists. Wild story. I don't think they're really that crazy. I mean, South Korea has some of the highest beauty standards in the world, where you hear crazy stories where people are getting gifted as a kind gift, like plastic surgery vouchers. I don't think they're that unreasonable. Scary. some man comes to power, 30 million die. The Chinese Revolution and everything surrounding that is so insane to comprehend because everything was just a horrible decision. And presumably a deliberate choice. You've heard of the Four Pass campaign, right? So, Chairman Mao, I think it was Chairman Mao, I don't know, my history isn't that fresh, decided that in order to prosper, we needed to eliminate these four pests that were plaguing our fields and preventing optimal harvests. And those four pests were rats, flies, mosquitoes, and sparrows. Well, for obvious reasons, that devastated the ecosystem. And all of the crops forever died, and people starved for a few years straight. Here, hold on, let me get a poster on. Surprisingly, my dad doesn't have this poster hung up. Maybe for his birthday I should buy this or something. He's got a lot of posters hung up, but nothing like... Only a little Chinese propaganda. But it's a little self-explanatory, you know? Sparrows spread seeds and allow the environment to prosper. Rats will feed on the eggs of sparrows, and they also feed many larger animals. Flies help in the decomposition of many animals. You know? To me, your hood is wide. Hi, okay, guy. That's a very rude thing to start with. Is my head wide? Is my head wide? Mosquitoes I agree with, but the rest are required. Mosquitoes are one of the few things, if you asked me, I could not tell you how they're environmentally important because I genuinely don't know. I'm not sure wiping out a whole genre of animal is very safe, but I still don't know what to say about mosquitoes. I meant it as a compliment. What is... Is it a good thing that I'm wide? I don't know. Yes, you were an ultra-wide chinchilla. Don't make me sound like a TV screen. Ultra-wide, high-definition chinchilla. Here, though. I agree, maybe they help cool the week. Probably something like that. I don't know. I don't like mosquitoes. I have very bad allergic reactions to mosquitoes whenever they... Every time I go outside, I can't go outside in summer very often because I get like 500 bites on my legs and it itches for the next week. Genre of animal, this is how I will refer to species from now on. I forget the term. I don't think it's families. Taxonomy, maybe. My favorite genre of animal. Do you want to know what my favorite genre of animal is? Do you? It's not the one you're thinking of. Pinnipeds. I like pinnipeds. Pinnipeds are seals, sea lions, you know? I'm sorry, it's not fish. Deep sea fish are really interesting, and I can have a lot to say about... Oh, I learned the most interesting thing about anglerfish recently. I've told you guys this before, I don't know how many of you remembered, but I've talked about the anglerfish mating habits. Yeah? Manatees, pinnipeds, I'm pretty sure. So I said before that anglerfish, the male bites onto the female and never lets go. Slowly fuses and becomes basically a sperm sac. They found out recently that the male actually doesn't really regress or die or stop existing as a solo creature. Rather than fusing and degenerating into essentially an organ, it turns out that the male actually fuses with the female and they just become one bigger organism. It can still move if it wants to. Their nerve systems move up, they track the activity on it. Basically, they join forces. They're alive. And presumably they like it, considering they started off doing that, right? Isn't that fascinating? I don't know how to explain it in better terms. It's been a while. It's been a week or two since I learned this. So if I poke the male anglerfish, will the female anglerfish feel it or not? They will. Their organs don't really degenerate. However, their systems and nervous systems do fuse. They join together into one larger creature. It's fascinating. Not feeling no fuse wife. It's all fun until it's your face fused to your wife's backside. That's gotta be hard to drag around, and also, how do you move like that? It would not work for humans, to say the least. To say the least. I don't know. It's just nuts. It's fascinating, isn't it? There's nothing else quite like it. I've been playing a really good Roblox game recently. Roblox just has this amazing game called Pressure, and it's about surviving in a facility, and the monsters you have to dodge are all, some of them aren't, but most of them are derived from deep sea animals, and it's really cool. The ultimate evolution of the horse girl. You see, I saw this really interesting, messed up scenario in which a centaur was like a parasite, like a roaming creature without a head, and in order to form fully formed centaurs, it would just ingest women and fuse with them. Like, where the head would be was a mouth instead. That was horrifying and also fascinating. I like the idea that their majestic appearance is to lead you in. I've seen that art. I don't know what. I think it was appropriate. Might not have been, but it probably was. Have you read about kelpies? I think kelpies are really lame, honestly. I think they only get publicized because they were mentioned in Harry Potter or something. And nowadays they're noticed because Dungeon Meshi has a reference to them. Throwaway reference. Not a throwaway reference, a whole chapter. But you know, there's nothing interesting about them. It's just, what if horses were mermaids or sirens or whatever? You know, those horses that can swim, I think they're on Assateague Island by Virginia and Maryland. But those are probably the closest things we have to wild horses in this day and age, except that is horse. What is it named? Something really Polish that I can't pronounce. Przewalski's horse. That's one of the only things. That's one of the only wild horses left. Ultimately, every horse descends from a domestic horse, and I think that's something horrifying. The Scottish are crying to me. Well, there's only like 1,000 of them. No. There's like 1 million of them. That said, you are but a fraction compared to the Americans. Mermaid horses are hippocampus. Because they're hippopotamus, but also they have a campus like a human brain? Or, I don't know. Most people are a fraction compared to the Americans? Exactly. I mean, in America, like, individual states, we always dismiss individual states, but... You know, we act like individual states don't matter, and it's the whole that makes us up. Hippopotamus means river horse. Oh! Hippo. Your mom is a hippocampus, you're a hippocampus, bozo. Have you ever heard of the grass mud horse? It's one of those funny shenanigans that people get up to on the Chinese internet to dodge censorship. And let me talk about this first, okay? Let me talk about this first, please. Hehe. So, grass mud horse. In literally written characters, it reads grass mud horse. However, it's used to dodge censorship on the internet because it is phonetically the same as saying F your mother. Like, count near. I'm not good at pronouncing. Count near. Ma. You know? There's a lot of other similar funny censorship dodging, like, They come from the Malagiri desert, which, is like your mother's effing genitals. And sometimes they're known as fertile grass mud horses, like Wolkow Yima. I F your mother. And there's other stuff like I don't remember which came first. The grass mud horse is preyed upon by the river crabs, I think. I have to remember. It's been a very long time since I heard about it. My dad used to show me stupid Chinese memes. By the way, my dad isn't Chinese. I'm talking about it a lot, and I wonder how many of you actually know that much about my dad. My dad's not Chinese, he's just like that. This is that lesson 1 in Chinese where you need to be careful about your tone, all moms are horses. This is why I don't study Chinese. I don't want to know about it. I think I mentally gave up when my Chinese teacher was trying to teach me the word for fish, which is like yue, spelled Y-U-E in pinyin with a rising and falling accent on the E. So it's like yue. She said that it's like flowing like water, like a fish through water. And it's exhausting. Is he Taiwanese? No, he's a white man. I'm a white woman. He's white Asian? How? He's not Asian. Hey, Fred. That time Japan Google banned Chinese search results for Japanese devils by turning it into a Moe character named Hinomoto Onika. She actually got an Utal voice bank. It's pretty okay. It's not that great, but it's okay. There's a lot of really funny memes that in China that the Western internet is losing out on though. Because one, China is kind of its weird little bubble. Two, a lot of these places, it won't translate. These jokes won't translate well at all. He's honorary Asian. I'd really like to see him try to start a conversation with a Chinese person. I don't think they'd know that much. He's apparently really bad at pronunciation. My mom laughed at him a lot for his German. She says his accent is really bad, and when he speaks English to Germans, he starts doing a bad German accent for clarity. How much does he know about Chinese? Enough to translate, I guess. I don't know that much because I kind of ignore him when he talks about Chinese most of the time. The history is a lot more interesting than the language. I gotta drink water. I was on a roll though about interesting Chinese facts. Anyway, give me a moment. See you in a bit. In a moment. See you soon. I'm very upset. I spilled a bunch of water on my sleeve about coming back. But I've been thinking about how fast, you know, the bubbles that form in countries. You come up with all sorts of interesting memes that are lost in translation that the Western universe will not really ever reach. I don't want to say, French people are so funny. I always lose it whenever I see French people trying to read English, though. I don't know how much of a meme that's worth, but here's my reminder. And I just always lose it. Every single time. Everything comes out as some weird vowel mess. There's this funny, Reddit moment. There's this funny subreddit sometimes I like to go in and enable translation on. r/rants. It's just people memeing about French politics, but they only refer to France as rants. Something about it is funny to look into. I don't know anything about French politics, but I'm laughing at you nonetheless. Good job. What languages sound the funniest to you? For me, it's Portuguese and Aussies. Portuguese is such a weird language. I thought it'd basically be Spanish light, but I listened to it, especially Brazilian Portuguese. It sounds like it sounds like Russian Spanish. It's so weird. What's with the grimace, French man? I laugh at you. Oh, I'm gonna drink more water. There you go. I can drink it all in one go now. Haha. Woo! Hi, Xenomorphica. I brought you the bread, ma'am. That'll be $64. Well, I don't have $64 in your order here, so can I just have it? Can I just have it? Another meme that doesn't reach the West that often. It only sometimes reaches the West. The West is aware of it, but not entirely. Lichtenberg. Hold on. The meme is always something like Americans can't even name this country. And then they show this image. And you ask, what is that country actually? I've never seen it before. And they go, you don't know about Lichtenberg? I love memes that are just gaslighting. I asked Greater Galatia. I think it's funny. I like stupid gaslighting jokes like that. If it was important, I would have known about it. Maria! America. Yeehaw! Oh, you know, now with this microphone, I could probably yippee at full attempt. Didn't the American books talk about it? Honestly, I read a lot of history, but we don't ever learn that much about other places' history. For example, most of my, I honestly didn't pay that much attention in class to begin with. So just about anything I learn is from my dad. They don't even teach about how Germany had a horrible phase in history where they were only making cuckoo clocks. I used to have a cuckoo clock from Germany. My dad got it. Used to be required to have a cuckoo clock in houses in Germany, but, you know, obviously that became obsolete. I saw that. So history classes are mostly for American propaganda? Well, I mean, other nations are bound to focus on themselves. And understand why you only learn, say in Europe, you probably learn about other countries and stuff like that. But you know, they're a lot tinier. Their history is a lot more interwoven with other nations' history. It's bound to happen. In America, we mostly learn about the roles we played in America. I could recite most of American history off my head, so it's not like I'm not thankful for the knowledge. I think there's a lot of interesting aspects of American history we don't really touch on because we were too focused on talking about how screwed up the Donner Party was or whatever. But you know, I really like that one phase that the government went through where they were just throwing random garbage at the wall. You know, maybe we should put this, maybe we should try to sew a microphone into a cat for the sake of spying on the Russians. The story for that goes that they managed to do it and the cat escaped, ran off into the street and immediately got run over. But apparently, supposedly, the project was never completed fully because they figured it'd be too impractical. But there's also a lot of other funny stuff where it's like they decided that they should give someone all the LSD in the world and then it killed them. So now LSD is banned forever because they gave some guy all the LSD in the world. That happened to an elephant too. I think it was Flopsy the elephant. Went on a rampage, so they gave it 1,000 times the normal dose, a safe dose for an elephant. And then it fell over, dead. Crazy story. Obviously, our country is the birthplace of humanity. It's obvious in the center of the map. To be fair, for American history, a lot of foreign nation knowledge isn't very important. I think whenever we get meddling in another nation, we probably should take a minute to read through a book about the nation before saying, actually, this country's politics are stupid, and America should just fix it. But, it happened. Do you hear about that beluga whale they found with Russian spy gear? They shot it to death. Happened maybe a couple weeks ago? No! I guess it was like the Chinese weather balloon. That happened this year, too. Give me Google. Russian beluga whale. It happened in 2019. But he was shot, or found dead, last day of August this year. Activist groups claimed that he died from gunfire, but the following necropsy confirmed that was not the case. So it's not true. Remember that one time the CIA started to use LSD non-consensually on their employees? There's a lot of funny stuff like that. And so much that will never reach the light of day because they're not allowed to be declassified. Like we have, in order to form trust, the CIA and FBI will, you know, release what they have after a certain amount of time. But I believe that there's a good amount of stuff that they secretly just keep away because they can't. You know, they're above the law. Why should they release it, to be honest? I don't know. They don't really have reasons to. I don't know. Valdimir. Vald? I can't pronounce Norwegian. Though I think it's supposed to be Vladimir. I don't think Russian is pronounced that way either, though. Stuff like that is interesting. Like, we normally say names like Ivan, right? In Russian, it's pronounced Ivan. That's weird. What a pain. I'm really glad I'm not Russian, because if I had to hear a mistake like that made a billion times over, I think I would never talk to an American. Masha is apparently Maria. No. Something interesting. I think I might be thinking of a different one. Oh, it is short for... I think of Sasha. Sasha is short for Alexander. I don't know why. Ivan sounds much cooler, right? I think if I were Russian, like a Russian guy named Ivan, and I went over to America and everyone was calling me Ivan, I think I would just be mad that my language sucks. Like, why don't they say Ivan back home? That sounds so much better. Ivan, that sounds stupid. I'm glad I'm not that. And then there's stuff like, I think it's Misha. It's a common name people will have for women and dogs, usually female dogs. It's short for Michael. Misha, it's a diminutive of Mikael, which I have certainly mispronounced, but I don't care. Yvonne? That... Now when I see it sometimes, I don't actually know that much about it. Petrochka? I don't know that much about Russian language, to be honest. Most I can say is that my language is better than... that my knowledge is better than, like, a random American you could find off the streets. My Russian friend gave me a nickname. He called me Saika. If you're reading through that, not through text, what we commonly read as Saika in English is, let me double check this so I'm not spreading fake English. I believe it's the B word. It's the B word. There's also another common one. You see, it's spelled essentially like, hold on, let me put some text on screen so you can read it. You see a lot of people read this as like aper. It's actually pronounced drug, and it means friend. Isn't that cute? I found this random beggar called Ivan. Let's test if your Russian is better. I don't speak Russian. Go man. Yes, drugs are friends. I think many Russian people would say that. I'm sorry. But there was that meme that went around with like the spooky monster captioned Aper, and people would read it as such. And after a while I thought, how is that actually supposed to be pronounced, you know? How am I supposed to interpret Mr. Aper? Strug. Do you like hard bass? I like jump style and hard style dance, but I don't actually care that much for the music. Good jump style is very scary. Yeah, when did you sit down and learn to do that? I try to do it sometimes. I try to learn sometimes, but I don't have enough space. Floor space to kick my legs around that much. Do you like hard bass? No. Not really. That's too ravey for me. It's about on par with trance music for me. And I'm not interested in that. A lot of people go crazy for trance music, but it's... For me, it's just... It never does anything. It just goes on and nothing happens with it. Hi, Miktiga. Also, hi, Mikey. April looks like the friendliest Russian I've ever seen. Russians usually look... Usually when you see Russians, they're always so thin. I don't know what's with that. I think Russia's just a depressing language. I feel like you need to be intoxicated for hard baths. Well, you gotta be intoxicated to enjoy raves too, so it's about on par. I could make a joke about how like Russians are always drunk, but I think that's too low-hanging. I could say that whenever I want. It's so easy to say. I could say that right now. I don't want to though, because everyone says that, so now it's boring. I looked at rave videos once. I didn't like it. I wanted to know what they look like, and it just looks so gross. You know, it's loud, everyone's shoulder to shoulder and all sweaty. It probably smells like garbage, doesn't it? Russia's basically London, but the whole county, whole country. London, I don't know how London is like. My mom's been to London, but I never ask her questions, because if I ask her questions about the history of England, she's just gonna go like, and then the royals did this, and spout off 3 hours worth of obscure, messed up royalty knowledge. Like, no, I don't want to hear about what crazy things happened from the incest. You're so pretty grody. How old are you? I will gladly listen to it. Why is it bad? It's because I've heard all of it before. And she never shuts up about it. And if you try to change the topic, she gets mad at you. Anyway, I asked how old you were because something strange I've noticed. I only see older people use grody, like millennials and stuff like that. Is your mom autistic too? No, she's just a jerk. She might have ADHD or something, but no, she's just kind of a jerk. Ouch, I'm 31. Knew it. You're in the general age range. You're definitely not that far above 40. But you're not 20. Funny. I'm glad that I can pinpoint it now. Something I think it's really funny picking up on I think it's really funny picking up on speech habits that people older than me have. TV is calling us geezers. I'm 23. I figure most of you are in your 20s at least. Otherwise, I don't know how much you'd have in common with me, because I talk a lot about my childhood, and my childhood was not that long ago. Also, my childhood was slightly outdated because I was poor. I used to watch things on VHS, so I don't relate to all the people my age either. I still remember when Netflix came in the mail. I watched Studio Ghibli on the Netflix things. It was probably my first exposure to anime, technically. My nana was in Japan at the time, and she got to show off like the cool Japanese stuff she was exposed to. Isn't Salas 1 year younger? I'd be horrified, but I'd forgive you, Salas. I'm 31 as well. Do you use grody? Your childhood was almost 2 decades long, so you are old anyway. I don't mind being old now. Now I get to look back at the younger people and think, God, I'm glad I'm not them anymore. You know? slightest. What do I can't read messages from when I was younger. I cringe too hard at myself. Yeah, last night I went through my Google Docs. My old Google Docs, and it wasn't that long ago, but I got to look at stuff from my like high school self, and it's like, get me out of here. Something I used to do with my femcel friend, my online femcel friend that I don't talk to anymore. We used to just this is kind of strange. We would make things like PowerPoints and fun docs together, and we would decorate it and outlay it in a fancy way, and it would just be silly stuff about ourselves, like a shared journal. I don't know if anyone else did that. Feels like a weird thing to do. But yeah, I decorate it because I would download line stickers and stick them all over the pages. That's probably one of the few things I really miss from being friends with her. I don't miss her being insane though. If I looked back at the PowerPoints, I think I'd notice half of them were about looks maxi. And things like the science of appealing to men. So, I can cringe a little at that. Trying to be a Sigma femoid. Of course you'd call me a femoid. Scrote. Was teaming mewing? Actually, mewing came in really recently. It's not like it didn't exist beforehand, but it was more of a photo trick that models did. You don't do it all the time because that's just illogical. Hi, Chili Apple. I'm talking about femcells. Men are easy, just be nice to them and don't be fat. Easy peasy. Never worked for me, but also I don't really care that much anymore. I think maybe I'm not as nice as I try to be though, because I'm not very good at reading tone and cues. I used to write poems when I was younger. After reading some, my spine wanted to leave orbit. My mom, I cyberstalk my mom. She doesn't know, but I look through her social media for mentions of myself once a month. That's an insane thing to say, but yeah. That's the full thing. I get to see really stupid stories about my childhood self. Who don't use cyberstalk? I don't do it very much anymore. Do you also stalk us? Sometimes. I can't look through your likes anymore, so it's not as fun. You're nice, but you're also blunt. Sometimes people get that confused. I don't like to put up with people I don't want to put up with, so I am capable of being mean. Just earnestly mean. I've worked very hard to not do that, though. It's because I am brain scrambled. You managed to find anything on me yet? Not really. I don't care that much, though. I've considered making a Discord thread to post Twitter likes on for you to stalk. I think that's insane of you to do. Nothing wrong with that. I think you're insane for wanting that. But I don't do that much stalking anymore. I used to do it more, but ego searching isn't good for your health. And besides, maybe it's just because nobody's gonna be talking about me. I don't talk to anyone anymore, so I can't look at other friends' activities very much, and I can't look for mentions of me online in general because I don't really exist. Just talk VTubers instead. I've gotten really hooked on that girl I raided last time, Momoko. I've gotten really hooked on her. I watch her. I've been catching all her streams. She's so cute. It's just a jewel. I hit the microphone, sorry. I only talk about VTubers with an IRL friend. I have never mentioned VTubers or being a VTuber to anyone. Only person in my life that I know knows what a VTuber is my mom, horrifyingly. And I know that because she bad-mouthed one. It's scary. Just like... I'm scared. Search Chimi on Google, results also in Chimi cute. If you look up Chinami on Google, you get a Kamen Rider character. Just really funny. I think I'm climbing the ranks though. Someday I'll be more relevant than the game master of the Desire Grand Prix, who replaced Kirori, who also transforms into the first Kamen Rider Glare 2. Kamen Rider Guraratsu. You know? Super Chinami has a hit for the wiki now? Oh, do I now? Let me see if the fandom wiki. It's been a while since I looked at it. I don't think anything changed. They got... Hold on, let me show. There's this one drawing that's on the wiki that I like still. This is my drawing of a Chinamate. I still like it. I still think it's nice. But you know. I think VTubers are very hard to talk about, to be fair. It's because they're e-celebrities. It's really hard to talk about e-celebrities in general. I know my little brother used to watch Pikami. He liked Pikami. So sometimes he'd visit and I'd put on Pikami for him. That said, Pikami is dead now, and I don't think I could really show him Henya. I feel like Henya has a very different appeal. Tried to get my mom to watch Tenma play the Walking Dead game because she loved that series and she didn't want to play the games in Alexa far. Tenma is a very hard sell. Tenma's a good girl. She's very entertaining. I can see why she'd be a very hard sell to the average person. And I think that's important to acknowledge. She can have, if you're used to voices like that, I think she can have a kind of grating voice. You know? Yeah, gotta go back. Thanks for the stream, Timmy. Bye, Sora. Thank you for coming. I'm glad I woke up on time for stream. I was worried I'd miss it and pass out or something. But I'm glad. I like to stream, I like to talk. I'm not that good at talking, I take a lot of pauses, but I like to talk. Do you pass out after stream ends? I curl up in bed, but I don't usually pass out. Sometimes I do. I don't watch any of the big VTubers that like to interact with streamers. Doesn't work on that scale. Yeah, I find a lot of big VTubers. It's not like they don't have talents. It's not like they didn't work hard to get where they are. But after someone gets big enough, they kind of plateau almost because they don't actually have to make up for the dead air anymore. There's an endless stream of chat coming in and they can just loosely follow that. Everyone else is essentially making the content for them at that point. I wonder if I don't really have experience with chat going that fast though, so I don't know. Between pauses and cute girls saying, which do you prefer hearing to me? I think it's really cute when other girls do it, but sometimes I watch myself and it's like, like, you know? And all those filler phrases. She didn't complain about her accent, which I thought was funny because she had a super thick accent. Tenma, I'll be honest, she kind of sounds like she's forcing every sound out of her throat. Full power. I don't know how to make that sound more polite. I think it's something that's easy to get over, but I understand why people have a hard time adjusting at first. You know? I'm not very good at understanding accents. It depends on how strong the accent is. Like, most of the time I can vaguely grasp it, but oftentimes it's just kind of a vague mystery. It depends on how bad at pronunciation they are. I don't think anyone can understand Moisey, for example. Have you tried doing an Irish or an Aussie accent? Top of the day to you. I don't know how to do it. Aussie is I like my coffee black. Over that hill. I can't do it. No. No. The way they end vowels is really interesting because people type it as no, but it's not quite that. But it does sound end in an almost R sound. Good eye, mate. Aussie. Devilman has an Irish accent. Yeah, but also he has a drunk accent. I have a tough time understanding that. What's heavier? A kilogram of steel? Steel? Or a kilogram of feathers? That's not right. That's not that good. I'm getting somewhere though. Alright, Devilman is Scotch. I'm sorry, they're they're the same thing. Cute. Everyone in Ireland and Scotland walking to my house right through the ocean to kill me. You know, it's all the same. It's all the UK. One of my times in summer school, I had an Irish teacher. And a kid asked him, what's it like living in the UK? And he got so mad. He started going like, we fought a war over this. Why does nobody, we're not part of the UK. And just yelling and it was funny. I don't know. Just silly. But I think it's really funny to mess with people like that. That said, I wouldn't do it to anyone's face. I feel like... I mean, it wouldn't... What stops an Irish man from killing me? I would be pissed if someone accused me of being British. I think I'd be more confused if someone accused me of being British. I don't know what else. It's like Sweden and Switzerland all over again. Do they get mixed up? I don't mix them up. Switzerland speaks like German and French. Sweden speaks Swedish. They're completely different, essentially. Also, the Alps are known for being very green, and Sweden is known for being very white. There. That's how I tell them apart. Also, I watched Italia also. That's part of how. That's part of how. It's not something I'd like to admit to how, but it's a very bad how. Genuinely, Italia helps me distinguish a lot of countries. And that's... Went to Austria, they had a bunch of t-shirts and stuff in tourist shops saying we're not Australia. That'd be a funny shirt to wear home in not Australia or Austria. Team confirmed for Fujo? No, I don't ship any of them. I don't... For me, I can't get interested in shipping if there's not a girl involved. It's usually straight only for me, but I don't mind Yuri either. You can distinguish Sweden and Switzerland and Switzerland very easily. Sweden has an IKEA logo on the map and they eat furniture. Eat furniture? I thought they ate meatballs. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't have the nerve to call an Irishman British if they're native from Ireland. It's like calling them the N-word. It could be that offensive to them. Well, most Americans don't know that, especially middle schoolers. I think I had that teacher in middle school. It might have been high school. I don't really remember. Or technically it wasn't in either school because it was summer school, but you know. Has there been a ship you got obsessed over at your early age? Honestly, I'm not that into shipping. Not really. A lot of... You'd expect me to, because I'm a woman who is into things, but I'm not. Also, I didn't want to be involved in the shipping community and talk with people who are shipping. Because everyone was just into gay men, and I wasn't into gay men, and I don't know how to politely tell people that. You know, why would you want your favorite character to be gay? That means they can't like you. I don't understand. Titanic or Britannic? Which one do you think is cooler? I've heard of a friend who super shipped Shadow and Amy. That one's really popular, even though they don't really have any stuff in common. Like, any actual interactions. It's because people like the bad boy look. Like, gay characters is like how straight guys like lesbians, I guess. I think girls are fine, though, so I don't really understand that perspective either. I couldn't imagine not being okay with Yuri. Do you like bad boys, or are you the one? I think it depends on what bad boy means. It is kind of nice for the relationship build up. Like, how do I say it? It's like having a stray dog warm up to you. That's kind of, I like that bit. I don't want a guy that's just a jerk and is never nice to you. That sounds bad. Well. See me, the door says push, but I pull. What does that mean? Wait, I'm gonna look that up. Is that a quote? What does that mean? Eh? Yeah, always appeals like Yuri. It's like, I like this thing and I like this thing, to put them together. I don't know. I think most people are... Like, some people had an honest fetish, and then other people got roped into liking it because everyone around them also liked it. I don't know why gay men would be so important to a straight woman. Saying he has reading comprehension problems means I don't follow the... What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. How do you get interested in anything if there's not... If there's not a... cute girl in it? Social contagion? It's like, acclimation, you know? You slowly get used to it. Just silly. Let's be real, men who like lesbians just don't want to watch other guys bananas. That is true. I don't really look at that stuff though I would like to say that, just for one. Have you never seen a door that says push? McDonald's has one. I know what they are. I think it's probably just because women have a different perspective. For men, it's kind of expected to get jealous, so more men will get jealous than women. Women don't get jealous of other fictional women. Not often. There's exceptions, of course. You know, there was a big example with some Niji Sanji members. But, men are more likely to get jealous, I think. Unless I really don't like the fictional girl that the fictional guy is with. I would not get jealous if the fictional guy canonically liked the fictional girl rather than staying alone or something. It's because women get more emotionally invested than guys are used to. I don't really know. I don't have, I'm not doing anything with guys. I don't know that much about it. Sorry. I'm brain dead. I don't think. But I used to have a lot of friends that would refuse to talk about anything not gay. And that was weird. It used to be very normal to just ERP with other people. So I would see on the old sites I used to frequent, I would just see people doing that in public spaces, and it's like, why are you interested in that? I don't understand it. Scary. What the hell? It's just normal, I guess. I had a friend in middle and high school as well who would just openly talk about that stuff, and I didn't really understand, but I'd listen. She was also attracted to King Boo and wouldn't shut up about it. I don't know what she was seeing there, but I was not seeing it. You're saying I can find a lot of cute girls to ERP with right now? Wait, no, never mind, you just said middle school. Yeah, be a little careful there. Be careful there. Public ERP is disgusting, at least when I flirt with teammates, it's ironic. I just don't know. It's been a very long time since I last actually had any experience in the roleplay crowd. I didn't do any ERP because I didn't want to. I didn't have interest in that. Especially not like gay men. Why would I have interest in that? It's not me, you know? Men can have multiple wives in some countries, legally less likely for one girl to get jealous then. I think if it's a way of life like that, you get sad rather than jealous, right? And dream about, you know, being the one true one, or the favored concubine, or something. But I'm glad I don't live in one of those countries. I used to have a friend who used to talk about each anime at university. Once we had to do presentations freely about any topic, and he talked about ecchi and adult animes. I would not do that. But I mean, there's similar stuff I used to see. There was a bit where people were just okay walking around with gal shirts and hoodies and stuff. I don't think there's anything, I don't really get offended by that, but I understand why people think it's weird. It used to be normal, though. I remember. Remember when blah blah blah? Chinami remembers. I think roleplay is a thing that only underage girls do, though. I tried looking around for, like, I was curious, so I wanted to see if any adults still did that. And it's adult for a reason. It's labeled adult for a reason. You cannot find adults roleplaying that are not getting their thing on. Good lord, I've seen those. Once I saw a girl in a gal jacket, the worst part, she was with her grandma. Sometimes you gotta deal with that stuff. Do you want to know the most embarrassing thing I have? I got over it, so it's not really important to me, but one of the most embarrassing things I have is a gift from my dad. It is a hoodie that recreates Stalin's like government uniform with medals on it. That is, I feel awkward wearing that in public, but it's got nice fabric. It was a gift from my dad a while ago. Back when I was in like middle school. I don't care that much about what I wear in public so long as it covers me, so I don't feel that bad about it, but I wonder if I should throw it out or something. Or donate it, I don't know. I do think there's something wrong with it. A little bit. Use it for Halloween. I actually just rummage through the... I don't do Halloween anymore because I'm too old, but my dad would never buy me costumes, so what I would do is rummage through the basement for old family military uniforms and just wear that out because it got me extra candy anyway. People would be very happy. Are you really old to have fun? Oh, it's not a neighborhood that's very accepting of adults trick-or-treating, you know? You know, one of those neighborhoods that's always worried about predators. Even if I'm a girl, I think I'd still get judged very severely. I used to sit at the playground, but I got funny looks, so I stopped doing that. You can use your voice as an advantage, don't you think? Then I'm an unattended child, aren't I? Is that much better? My nanobites hoodie is my most embarrassing sweater. It is a bit too small, but I still wear it. I have a lot of gamer shirts, but I don't feel ashamed about that. My mom used to give me like really annoying shirts I didn't like. Cause I guess she was trying to relate to me or give me something that she'd like to wear, and it's always stuff like I'm not antisocial. I'm just fed up with normal people. Normal people scare me type shirts. Just real edgelord emo kid stuff. And I still have it. I still fit into it. I don't like wearing it though. I only wear it if I run out of laundry. You should gift your dad a pink camel hoodie with girls in pants or anime girls on it as revenge and be super serious so he would feel bad for not wearing it. I think he would just say no. I don't think he's built like that. I don't think he feels any desire to impress me. Were you ever emo teeny? I never really had a full emo phase. My older brother used to bully me and like call me an emo, you know, insert slur there. But I never really actually had a proper emo phase. I never really liked dressing in black that much. I did dye my hair for a while though. It was always bright colors though. That was around middle school. I've dyed it red and I've dyed it blue. I got tired of that and just grew it out naturally. I did it because my mom dyed her hair and I wanted to... I don't know, I think I wanted to seem cool to her or something. Something like that. Emo scene and goth scene conflated with one another. I don't think I've ever been that strong on things like fashion subculture stuff. I'm very interested in the design aspect, but I don't really dress that well. When I go outside, it's always in like a gamer shirt and sandals. Funny enough, I think normies are actually less normal. It's more that they're normal because they're common. You know? It's not actually that anyone is particularly normal, it's that you are an irregularity. Dye your hair right now? I don't wanna. I like my hair color as is, and also, hair dye kinda sucks. You know, you've permanently changed your hair to another color, what now? You gotta deal with the shame of dyed hair for, you know, until it fades out and then until it gets long enough to grow back to its original length. That's so much stuff to do. Such a long wait. In gatherings, don't you dress up? Do you think I go to gatherings? Sometimes I'll dress up if if it's an important family party or something. But usually I don't, and recently I haven't really been going to family parties. Mostly I haven't been around to remember this, but I skipped out on my family Christmas to stream. Everyone is still mad at me for that. I still get... Every time my relatives call up and I talk to them, it's always like, you know, we missed you at Christmas. I'm not sure why you weren't there for Christmas. Bah. How you doing? I had black and purple hair for a while. That is next layer emo. My uncle used to tell me that he used to dye his hair, and that was the reason he went bald. And I think he was just trying to scare me out of dressing like that. You know, I ended up not wanting to dye my hair anymore anyway, but I think I stuck to it longer because people were annoying about it. Is Christmas the only time you see them? They live like 12 hours away. We used to make a yearly trek up there where all of us would have to be crammed into a car for, you know, 10 or more hours. And that really sucked. It got better after my older brother left the house and then my parents got divorced, so it was just me, my little brother, and my dad. But there's still nothing fun about being in a car for 10 hours. Considering what you've said about family gatherings, they sound pretty oblivious if they're asking surprised you didn't come. I don't know what they'd be missing out on. But, you know, I'm always told things about how important family is. I don't care that much, because my family hasn't done me that much good. 10 hours sucks, it leaves you sore like a rock. Yeah, I can't imagine that, it's terrible. I used to do it every year. It's always interesting. I see a lot of places on the way. Sometimes we stop. We got stranded in, I think it was like Vermont or something for a day once because the car broke down. Vermont is so... There's nothing in Vermont. What do you do in Vermont? Ugh. You're not probably cinnamon. Am I? I don't know. No, I'm not. I have cousins now, but I'm not yet. Why not? I've never had wine. No, I have had wine. I don't drink wine very often. I had wine once and it tasted bad. Technically, by my family rules, I'm allowed to partake in their wine now, but I really don't want to. 'Cause that sounds bad. I don't want it. Hi, Ranga. In my experience, being the son of the family's black sheep, beyond 1 degree of separation, family does not matter. Family doesn't matter. But I do like hearing their interesting stories. I always like visiting my great-grandma because she talks real funny. I was on call with her a while back and I asked her how her birds were doing and she's like, oh, I got a new parakeet and the finches are all doing well. And she's like, yeah, my 2 parakeets, I want them to get along, but the girl is kind of B-wordy. Just set it straight. I mentioned my dog and how I named her because my mom came up with a bad name, and I talked about Edgar Allan Poe because my mom's naming sense was related to that and pretty bad. And my great-grandma goes, oh, is that demented, awful poet? I had to read him in school, and he was so wretched and depraved. I also get to hear funny stories about her exposure to, like, the outside world as a rural farm girl. And it's always something along the lines of, like, we never knew what an instrument was, so we found all these lovely instruments in our mother's attic, and we poked at them and hit them with sticks instead of, because we didn't know what they did. They had a D-stringed banjo and they would hit each other on the head with it and laugh. Mine is, so you barely ingest alcohol? I don't have much experience with it. I don't have that much desire to drink it either, because it tastes bad, and then you gotta worry about how you'll act. One of my biggest fears, it's probably gonna be a problem soon, because my wisdom teeth are coming in, but I'm always worried that I'm gonna get medicated to deal with a surgery or something, and I won't have control of what I say, and I'm gonna say something and everyone's gonna be really mad at me. I don't know. Stream while at it, I'd like to. I feel like I'll say something really stupid though. Like, drop my full address or something because I'm an idiot. Family matters, long text. I like bits of my family, but most of my family is just very dysfunctional people that probably need medication or something, or to stop living out in the middle of the woods. I feel like every single year more relatives run off to live in the woods and go missing. Really bizarre. got rid of my wisdom tooth, and I swear it was like a fever dream. I was schizoing very hard. My mouth is really hurt recently, so I hope I get my wisdom teeth out first. I read some really gross things online about how there's gonna be a socket in my mouth though, and that's scary. Good for them, I think. Nah, my great uncle died of lung cancer because of that. Alcohol is for most people a personality enhancer, so when you're a jerk, you become a turbo jerk when drunk. I don't know what I'd become. Maybe quiet. I don't know what my personality is. I should probably end the stream soon. What? Is Rhymy still alive? Rhymy. Ah, she is! Yay! If you have a wisdom teeth growing correct, you can skip removal, but you'll probably get an distraction. I feel it on them with my tongue. They don't feel right. It's not really bad if your teeth aren't in bad shape. My wisdom teeth were impacted and it sucked after I got the surgery. I don't think my teeth are in good shape considering I eat rocks and drink so much Pepsi. To be honest, I don't mean to undersell myself, but I'm definitely not in peak shape. Are you gonna get him removed awake? Probably. My dad's paying for it, so I think he'd probably choose the awake option. I don't like going to the dentist. I've gotten a few fillings, and all of them were a nightmare. All like a terrifying nightmare. I'm very good at not responding, but I don't like feeling it in my mouth. I guess there's nothing better. Like no good options. I hate the dentist. He'll talk to me about my life with his fingers and mouth or inflicting pain. Like, what am I supposed to Google? I think it probably... You ever watch Little Shop of Horrors? Genuinely, I mean this completely truthfully, I think all dentists are sadists. But anyway, I'm gonna rate it randomly. Quick for me, I didn't feel bad after I got gassed and went all funnily since I was sedated. I've never been gassed. I think it's too expensive. They never give it to me. They gave it to my little brother once, but I think that's because my little brother is a ball of anxiety. Anyway, I should start saying bye. Bye, Eric. Bye, Silas. Bye, Nate. Bye, Bob. Thank you for coming. Bye, Adrian. Bye, Haruka. Bye, Calcum. Bye, Monkey. Bye, Standard. You should speak now or forever hold your peace. Bye, Miktiga. Bye, Aaron. Bye, Barmy. Bye, Mata. Bye, Hayabissa. Thank you all for coming. Bye, Rongo. Did I really say Rongo? Whatever. Bye. Aww. Those are cute. It's a common emote, huh? Isn't it? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you all for coming. Bye. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.